All right, well, welcome to another episode of the Jarvis Sam Show. Once again, we're joined by Bread Tuck Rob, Christopher Robinson. And
Yeah,
again,
man.
this week we got Mike Scott, the mogul. Y'all remember him last week from the original debate podcast. This week we're going to talk this week's debate. Mike, how you feeling about this week's debate?
Man, this week's debate, I was actually impressed yesterday with Miss Kamala Harris. I'll be honest with you. First of all, for a black woman, it was kind of crazy to see a black woman running, had the potential to be vice president. And in worst case scenario, a black woman can become president of the United States, right? But I thought she held her own. I won't get too much deep into it because I know it's the beginning, but I thought she held her own. I thought she was very articulate. I actually thought she won the debate.
Yeah. Tuck, where you at?
I think it was a decent debate. I thought it was a good debate. I think everybody kind of stayed on topic, even though they didn't answer every question. And that's on both sides. They stayed on topic. I will say it was less entertaining because it wasn't, the reckless back and forth that the Biden and Trump was. But, this was more civil, and it was pretty good, man. I learned a few things.
I agree.
Yeah, I think this one was an actual debate of two politicians. Last week was a debate of a politician and Donald Trump. And the one thing that I picked up from this debate was that Mike Pence added substance to the points that Trump tried to make last week that lacked substance. For instance, talking about the coronavirus, when Trump said, under your watch, 2 million people would have died. Well, he just threw that statement out there as to where Mike Pence went and said, if we remember in 2009, the swine flu happened, 2 million people got it. Had it been more deadly, like the coronavirus, that's why Trump made that comment last week. But Trump did not say that. Trump just threw out the unsubstantive answer out there, like everybody in the world would know what he was talking about. When you're talking to 70 million Americans, the average American doesn't know all these topics that you're talking about. So you have to break it down. And that's what Mike Pence did last night.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I was impressed by Mike Pence. Now, of course, I'm not for Pence and Trump, but I was impressed by him simply because his demeanor was of a true vice president and a politician. You notice he talked to the same monotone voice the whole time, even though, he did have some ways about him where he didn't follow, the procedure of 2 minutes. But, he made Trump look 1,000% better for their campaign. I'll be honest with you. He made them look 1,000% better.
Yeah, he definitely ran damage control for the Republican Party last night because he showed that he knew how to be a vice president. He showed he kind of reminded me of the Republican candidate that was on head of state. He gave very structured, by the book, kind of everything was just by the book. He was very he tried to be almost overly civil, giving Kamala Harris I've been in your shoes before, and just being very. He thanked Utah for hosting it or wherever they were, and like he was just doing all the right things, and it was like the total opposite of Trump. However, if you look at it, everything that he said still aligned with Trump. It was just he did it in the more civil political manner. So that was crazy. But yeah, Mike Pence did his thing, and I expected him to. I remember having a conversation with somebody last week, and I'm like, well, if something happens to Trump, Mike Pence is just educated Trump. It's the same guy. It's just he's polished and knows how to articulate himself well, and he understands all the policies because he's a true politician.
I think I think he realized that he has his base. He already has his base. But for those people in the middle, you don't want to turn them off by being rude to this black woman and being rude to this female moderator. So he was in a position to where he was like, man, I have my stance, And I'm gonna sound a little nuts with my stance, but I'm a deliver it properly, man. Yeah.
Right. So in regards to the moderator, do you think he wasn't rude to the moderator? Because he talked all over her. He disregarded her so many times. Every time she said, "Thank you, Vice President. Thank you, Vice President," he kept talking. He disregarded every time she'd ask him a question. He would revert back, "I want to finish answering this one." And it was almost like her being a white woman, even though he was kind of getting under her skin, she's just kind of more conditioned to listen to a white man. But the minute Kamala Harris goes over her time, she's shutting her down because she's also conditioned to not let black people overtalk her, or that she, it kind of got under my skin a little bit. And then at one point she called her Kamala.
Oh, wow.
And it was just like, it was, and she caught herself, but it's just like, it just shows that.
Yeah, you're right.
It just shows that even that white people just have this natural rapport, even if they're on different sides of the fence, even if they're getting on each other's nerves, they still fool with each other before they're going to fool with us. So where you at on that, Chris, about the moderator?
I forgot about her calling Senator Harris by her name. You know what? Before you said that, I had a different stance than you. I was going to say that I've seen none of them respect the moderator. Of course, Donald Trump didn't respect that dude moderator. Joe Biden was kind of passing his time until the moderator took charge and was like, "Hey, man, look, 2 minutes here, 2 minutes here. We got to be civil about it." Then Joe Biden kind of, controlled himself. But talking about this debate, there were moments where Senator Harris just kind of, kept talking because this is important, man. You want to this is your platform. So I'm running for president and vice president of the United States. I don't have time to be listening to no moderator. I know that that's the structure of this thing, man. The moderators here are supposed to keep everything in control, but I think the way that they're all looking at it, and I'm talking about Republican, Donald Trump, Democrat, Biden, they're all looking at it like, "Hey, man, this is my time. I have to drive my points home. If I go a little over 2 minutes, that's whatever, but the people are listening and I have to get this out." So I will say, in defense of all of them, I'm not mad at it. This is your moment. What you gonna do? The world is watching this, man. Mm-hmm. You got to get your point across.
How you feel about that, Mike?
The thing about Pence, I kept noticing he was trying to kill everybody with kindness, right?
Yeah.
So because he was being so kind, he was able to get away with that going over the 2 minutes thing. Because it's obviously, when you look at the two when they were debating, Kamala Harris was trying to stay within the 2 minutes. But because Pence was so monotone, he was cool, calm, collected, and all he kept saying was like, "Well, let me finish. Well, let me finish." I like to, he's saying in a nice way where he took advantage of the system a little bit. And I honestly think, and I don't mean to sound like a sexist or whatever like that, but I honestly think because not only was he debating a woman, but he also had a woman moderator, he took advantage of being a man.
Right.
Right. And I think he kind of used his masculine ways, almost an alpha way, to kind of overtone them and overtalk them, even though he was still cool, calm, and collected. But think about it. You're debating a woman. You're debating a black woman who can't get too aggressive because America's going to look at her like the angry black woman. Then you're debating. Then the moderator's an old white woman. Who's going to really keep this man in control like that, right? So I think he recognized that, which is fair. He played chess. He
Great strategy
that from the beginning. So he knew he was going to do that. He knew he was going to do it in a way where it doesn't come across too obstructive.
Great strategy by Pence. Then I didn't think about that.
Yeah, good stuff. So again, he addressed issues that Trump alluded to, right? So one of the things was he talked about the travel ban. So apparently Biden opposed the travel ban, which would have been the travel between China and the U.S. in the middle of the pandemic. So that was one of the things that he brought up to show that, like, hey, Biden is kind of on, doing some goofy stuff, and those are those points again that Trump just could not bring home. And if Trump had just alluded to any of those last week, it could have been a little different of a debate, right?
Yeah.
But the one thing that I think looks crazy. I mean, you can talk about the travel ban, you can talk about all that. When you're talking about this coronavirus, you got countries out here that are corona free. New Zealand has zero corona. Absolutely. And here in America, our leader has COVID.
Dumbass.
That's crazy.
Like it's mind-boggling. So how does that make America look when, again, there's countries without coronavirus, there's countries that have figured that out, but we had 210,000 people die of coronavirus, and the actual president of the United States got it. Mike, is that not crazy?
Yeah, first of all, the president is a dumbass, and him catching corona was a prime example of their negligence to not taking this thing serious, not wearing the mask. You guys remember that footage of that party, I guess, where he might have caught it at? Mm-hmm. When you seen like people sneezing, blowing their nose with their hands and shaking other people's hands. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It's just nasty. Some nasty white people, man. I'm gonna just keep it funky, right? If I can. But him catching corona was a prime example of, look, this is what you get, right? Karma comes back and bites you in your ass, right? Literally a week after you had a terrible debate about the coronavirus, now you catch it. That's the irony in this all, right? Let me speak on the travel ban thing. Here's why I think Kamala could have got Pence a little bit with this travel ban thing. And she held her own because I think she won the corona debate. But when he brought up the travel ban thing and how, there's 2 million swine flu cases and this and that, Kamala could have simply came back and said, well, how many died?
Exactly.
Yeah, Obama was on top of it. Right? Yeah. She made good points to say, well, y'all knew about this in January. The audio leaked. Right? So that whole travel ban thing, I felt like Pence definitely communicated it, but I don't think that was a strong point for him. That's why I also think he lost the corona debate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you know what? They're always going to lose the corona debate because that happened on their watch. Like that's that should be their main. The Democrats, that should be their main. I'm constantly hitting you with corona, man. Sure. I think Senator Harris made I think she connected with the audience yesterday when she looked in the camera and she said, how many of y'all didn't know where your next roll of toilet paper was going to come from because of this whole pandemic and this scare? And as soon as she said that, I remember leaving work on the low, running to the grocery store and stocking up on toilet paper because it was mass hysteria and I didn't want my family to go without, man.
Same here.
So she was making points that connected with the people, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just like Joe Biden's point last week that you brought up, with him saying, when you go to the dinner table in the morning and that one family member is missing, it's because of this administration. So that they seem more focused on the people. But again, Pence is going to play to their fan base, right? Yeah. So when the moderator asked, how do you expect the American people to help get this thing under control when the people from your party are shown in various arenas doing doing major gatherings, not socially distanced, with no mask? How do you expect that? And that Trump base, they don't fool with masks. So what he said, we just trust the American people to do the right thing and and their freedom. And no, man, that's not how you're going to rid this thing by. It's not. The companies, the countries that rid their countries of it had aggressive protocols and kind of told people what you need to do, which is why we need leadership. People need to be led. People need to be directed. This is unprecedented times. So it's going to call for unprecedented measures. And it's just ridiculous that, again, he's going to placate to that those people that he knows going to vote for him and say exactly what they want to hear. They don't want to wear masks, so he's going to make it like, hey, I'm just giving you your freedom and this and that. So guess what? That's why coronavirus is still here.
I agree.
I also heard that the cases in the United States are rising in every state except for 3 states. That is
That's
crazy.
Wild.
Like, this thing has been going on in our country since March heavy. We're almost in November, and we're still seeing spikes. Like, that's crazy. And this is what's going to make this administration look crazy. And this is what ultimately could lose the election because of how they've handled this.
Yeah, and it's funny, last night, even with talking about masks, Pence's wife didn't even have on a mask last night out of all that's going on. So it's just like, man, that whole, they're all jokes, man. Pence, Trump, Trump's wife, whatever her name is, they're all jokes, man. Like, it's just ridiculous how much of jokes they are.
Man, I was looking at something and it said that a symptom of coronavirus in some people could be pink eye. And if you notice, Pence had pink eye yesterday.
Right.
Now they were saying maybe he could have got makeup in his eye or whatever. I don't know, man, but that whole administration is looking nuts. And I want to ask this question. Depending on who hears this question, it may be a harsh question. Were y'all praying for Donald Trump to get better when he caught coronavirus?
Man, I answer it. Shit. Honestly, I didn't give a damn if he got better or not.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So if he would have died, you would have been cool.
I mean, I wouldn't have lost no sleep. Let me just keep it funky.
Hey, man, me and you don't agree on jack, but I tell you what, man. I agree with you there, brother.
And I'm gonna keep it real with you. I don't even think he ever got it. I don't think he has it. I think this is all a hoax to get people to trust the vaccine that they're going to roll out. I don't know if y'all going to touch on that topic or not. We're going to do it, but I think it's all a hoax for that. You don't get cured in 3 days. Plain and simple. I don't care what nobody.
Especially when you 70 something. I'm with
now
you.
All of a sudden you took this vaccine, and now you're talking about this vaccine that they're going to start rolling out now, because now the president took it, so the president survived. So this is all mental games that this president played. I'm the president of the United States. I took it. I survived. You're going to be okay. He starts saying, I feel better than I did 20 years ago. Come on, Trump. Like, who do you think you're really talking to? Like people who really know logic don't believe that shit, bro.
Okay. Jarvis, where you at? Were you praying for his, get well, or where you at?
Hell no, man.
Okay.
Hell no.
Okay.
I mean, in my opinion, like, why? Clearly, they don't give a damn about the 210,000 people who died of coronavirus, because they minimize that number all the time. Like, it's a small number. So why should we be concerned about the one? If you're not concerned about 210,000, you minimize that number. Why should we be concerned about the one? Now, am I wishing death on any man? Absolutely not. I'm not. But I'm not going to go out of my way to send prayers up and nah. I mean, it kind of is what it is. And here's the other piece. Look how foolish they've been. They don't wear masks. They don't, like, y'all put yourselves in position to get it when you have the information that it's airborne. You have the information that you need to be socially distant. You have the information from the CDC. You have the information from Dr. Fauci. Like, you have all this information at your disposal, and you choose to do the exact opposite every single time. So you're asking for coronavirus.
Okay. You know what, man? Before you go on, Jarvis, let me say this, man. I saw a lot of, black people saying, I'm praying for him to get better. I don't wish death on him and all that. And I tell you what, man, it just shows the compassion of us, man.
Yep.
When we get killed at the hands of the police, innocent, and we're innocent, up the people on the other side, they always find that excuse, or they find those pictures where you had your pants sagging. They find ways to call you a thug, and we pray for our oppressors. Please don't sleep what I just said. We pray for our oppressors, the people who are doing the oppressing. We hope they get better because we don't, want to see life taken. And I just think, man, I think it should get to a point where it's like, all right, man, we're trying to survive, and if you're oppressing me, you might gotta go. If you die, you die, fam. We'll things might get better, if you're removed.
Yeah, man. If Trump would have died, I wouldn't have lost no sleep.
Yeah, I'd have been cool. I'd have went and played volleyball or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna lose no sleep.
So Senator Harris mentioned that they asked her about the vaccine, and she says, "Hey, if it's approved, Dr. Falcosi approves it and all that." She was like, "But if it's just Trump saying something, I'm not taking it." How do y'all feel about the vaccine? Do you think this thing is what we need to rid the country of it? Would you take the vaccine if it came out?
You see, first of all, me personally, I wouldn't take it. And I've been hearing people saying like it might be mandatory, this and this and that. But for me personally, I'm not taking the vaccine. Obviously, I heard last night before the debate come on, I was flipping back and forth from CNN and Fox. And there was a scientist that said, hey, we've been testing the same vaccine. It started with some G word like general or something that Trump took. He said, we've been testing the same vaccine, and we've been testing it on poor people and minority people. Mm-hmm. These words came out of his mouth. And I was like, oh, shit. Did he just say what I heard him say? So that let me know right there, like, yo, that vaccine is only for us. And if we smart, we not taking that shit. So to answer your question, would I personally take it? Absolutely not. If they try to make it mandatory for me to take it, I absolutely won't. And I won't allow nobody in my family to take it either.
Wow. What about you, Chris?
Yeah, man, I feel that same way. Now, me being a school teacher, I'm in a little different position. Mike Mogul's in a position where he's financially independent. He do his own thing. He can make his own decisions. And I'm in somewhat of a different position right now. Pause. I work for somebody, but I don't see myself taking it if it's optional. If it's mandatory, I'm gonna have a different fight. And I'm a fighter. So, I'll just have to figure that out. But as of right now, man, my vaccine is that elderberry and unsweet tea, man. Y'all need to look up the benefits of unsweet tea. I just said and Googled it one day. And just to give you a little bit, man, it has antioxidants that fight against cancer. It believes that it is not proven, but there is a belief that it fights off the HIV virus, so look up iced tea, man. But yeah.
Nah, you definitely got to be on your supplements. Elderberry, Andrea put me on elderberry, but I take echinacea every day. I take my what's the joint that Dr. Sebi always talk about?
Is it sea moss or something?
Sea moss. I take the sea moss. I take all my mens one a days. So, and then of course you also got to be healthy. Like you got to get some type of form of exercise as well in you to keep your body and immune system strong.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think we all in agreement. I ain't finna rush up to take no damn vaccine. I'd rather, but if they make it mandatory, like I say, we got a fight on our hands. But something that crazy that happened. This fly flew on this man's head.
Oh, man. Yeah, bro.
You can't make this stuff up. Like really, and the fly flew on his head right in the middle of him answering the Breonna Taylor question. Of all things. Of all
But you know what flies are attracted to, right?
Shit. A pile of shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, that leads me to my next point though, man. So when Vice President Pence was asked about the Breonna Taylor situation, this man said he trusts the justice system that they handled it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Again, feeding their fan base.
Absolutely.
Their fan base, all their fan base thinks about is the fact that Breonna Taylor's boyfriend shot at the police, shot the police officer or whatever. That's all they take away from that.
Mm-hmm.
And the cop got charged with the wanton endangerment for shooting up the wall and not for murdering an innocent Black female in her own home. How did that answer make y'all feel?
Fam, I'm not surprised. I know what climate we living in, fam. I'm not surprised. I mean, like I said last week, 2016 to 2020 has really exposed things to people who were just, just kind of just frolicking through life. Nah, open your eye. People, if you die, if you Black and you die, there the other side that will justify you dying. So right. I'm not surprised. I think I'm gonna be honest with you. This past week, I think the police officer, I read somewhere that the police officer who had the knee on our brother George Floyd's neck, he was released.
It's crazy.
So
it's crazy.
I'm not surprised by any of this, fam.
Yeah. I wonder where he came up with $1 million at.
That's crazy, man. Them damn KKKs.
GoFundMe. Yeah,
man.
GoFundMe.
Yeah.
But you said it earlier, though.
Those white organizations will get them out.
You said it earlier, though. They could be plexing with each other, but hey, when it's us against you, hey man, let's tighten up and hey, you good over there? How much you need? What you need? I got resources. What So it's come on, man.
Yeah. To answer the question, about the Breonna Taylor situation, to Siraj's point, no, I wasn't surprised that he supported the justice system on feeling like they got it right. Now, here's where I was really I don't know if y'all missed this, but he kind of threw a shot at Kamala Harris by saying, "Oh, there's no such thing as a systematic racism that you try to present."
Mm-hmm.
Right? Y'all remember him saying that last night?
Yeah.
And it's like that goes back to the point. White people truly do not see the bullshit system that they built that is against us. You know what I mean?
No, Mike, really they see it, but it doesn't affect. They're on the good
they
side.
Built it. They built it, so they don't give a fuck. They built it.
But I looked at that as almost his way of denouncing the white supremacy that he tried to say Trump denounced. Right? Because we got to put everything in context, right? When you start talking about, Trump told the neo-Nazis, to blah, 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 which we all know is some bullshit. But in the same way, Pence is so articulate the way he do it, he tried to throw shit over people's head by saying there's no such thing as the systematic racism when we all know there is, right? Now, on the other end, I thought Kamala, she hit the home run with it. She hit the home run with the Breonna Taylor situation when she was like, I talked to the mother. I feel like justice wasn't served correctly. The young lady wanted to be a nurse. Like she shone a good light on Breonna versus what the media tries to do with hiding drugs, this and that. So I thought Kamala, I wish she would have kind of digged in just a little bit more deeper.
Yeah.
But I thought she did a great job on that side, though.
Yeah, let me add on to that, Mike. I think she presented Breonna Taylor, the human being. Somebody that you can relate to. Yes, she was studying to be a nurse. She was a person.
Yeah.
She had dreams like you. She had goals like you. Now, one thing I was disappointed in that I wish Kamala Harris would have talked on or spoke on or whatever, I wish somebody would say, hey, if I get in office, we are going to hold these policemen accountable with the death penalty. We are going to go after their pensions. Something that can deter these people or make them think twice before they take the lives of an innocent Black man or innocent Black woman.
you know, to go that far, they'll obviously have to get a lot of laws passed. But one thing she did mention that I thought was pretty good, she was just like, if a cop fuck up or if a cop do something bad, he needs to get registered.
Yeah, I remember.
Right? Yeah, that was huge, because to me, that's almost like a pedophile getting registered, right? You can't live in a certain area close to kids, this and that. So it's almost like, you know, I don't know obviously the details of it, but, you know, I hope if cops get registered, for example, somebody like a cop who beat up a kid, he may not kill, he beat the hell out of a kid. You register that, and now that cop gets fired. He can't get no other jobs because now he's registered under this certain penalty, right? I hope the same thing happens. I don't know the details of it, but I'm hoping, if you ask me what policy I think to put more effects on that, I hope something like that happens, because I think that will help us some way, not fix the system, but that would help some way to start improving it a little bit.
Yeah, let me tell you what, man, Jarvis, before you go in, let me say this, man. I'm sleeping that registry, man, because if you register the cop and he can't get a job anywhere else, man, he'll start a GoFundMe and become financially free. No, take his life just like he took the life of an innocent black man. Give him the death penalty. Get him out of here. Take money from his family. Yeah, let his family feel it. Let his family have to, get a GoFundMe or sell catfish, for them to survive.
I feel your passion on it, but like I said, not to say that can't happen, but that's definitely more on the extreme end, what we're hoping for, right?
We got to get extreme.
No, I understand, but I'm saying...
But it's steps to it.
Yeah, what I'm saying is like where you start at. Because think about
it.
He may not be a cop no more, C-Rob, so guess what? I got all rights to throw the hands with you. I got all rights to beat your ass like a normal human being. I got all rights to fuck you up now. And then we can both go to court for it, right?
Okay.
You're not protected by the law no more as far as that badge. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what a lot of these cops, they get this sense of Hulk, like they the Incredible Hulk because of that badge. But when they take that badge off, fam, you and me, you a regular man like me, I can beat your ass and nothing can happen to me, or I can get away with it. But if you got that badge on, I just can't fuck you up like that. You know what I mean? That badge protects them. So once that badge is completely taken away, you can't get it back no more, period, then you become normal again. Like, we all see you normal, but you in your own eyes, you become normal again.
Okay.
So there were reports that Trump said he shut down all the stimulus talk for the next stimulus package until after the election.
I can't believe that.
That's crazy.
That boy there, man.
And what's crazy is
he petty, bro.
I think some people are stupid enough to go to the poll and vote for him just to get that stimulus check. I'm sorry. $400 a year ain't enough to deal with this fool. Because if you break $1,200 down, it's just $400 a year, right? To deal with that foolishness. But again, he's playing the game, man. He could care less about the people. He said he's not going to leave peacefully if he's not reelected. I don't know what that means, but it's not going to be a peaceful exchange of power or whatever, which is crazy. That no person in history of the presidency has ever gone that far.
I don't think he would show up. I honestly think.
You think he would stop showing up right after election day? He wouldn't come no more?
I think if he lose, and when it's time to, like, you know how the presidents, pass the torch, whatever, pass the power, put their hand on the Bible, just how Obama had to do him. I don't think he would show up to the inauguration of him, of Biden becoming president. I don't think he would show up.
Who cares? We don't want him there.
Yeah. No, I agree, but I'm just saying he's that much of an arrogant asshole where he wouldn't show up, and white people will support it. White people will completely support it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, man. Go ahead, Joe.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
As far as the stimulus check, man, and I'm just reading up on things, man, and I heard Senator Kamala Harris mention free college, and I heard her say something about, something about no loans or something. Then I just quickly Googled Joe Biden and student loans, and I saw that he said that, hey man, I'm gonna erase $10,000 of your student loan debt.
10%.
And
10%.
No. He said $10,000.
Oh, I thought she said 10% last night.
Okay, that's what she said. But then I read something that said $10,000, and I was like, hey, man, that would have me debt free out here, man. So I'm weighing, Trump, with the $1,200 check, I could use it, but if I don't get it, I'm cool. But if a brother could get $10,000 wiped off the student loans, so I think people really have to, instead of just looking at these stimulus checks, hey, man, go see what Joe Biden talking about too, man, and let's compare notes, man.
Yeah, I told y'all, like, and this is not to sound funny, but I know I wouldn't never get a stimulus check, right? So, when people were getting these checks, and I get it. Some people really did need it, especially like, let's say you was a grocery store worker or something, you couldn't go to work, right? So I get it. But, people really getting these stimulus checks to go blow it. They're not doing really nothing substantial with it, right? They're not really thinking like, how could I flip this $1,200 and make me some more money? Majority of these people just want this check to blow it, and I had to say, but that's our people, most of them, because that's obviously who I pay attention to. But I don't think that check is that big of a deal to keep that guy back in another 4 years. You can blow that $1,200 in a matter of a couple of days.
Yeah, and I think that, and you know what, Mike, if you want to blow the money, who cares, man? That's your decision. But I do think that if Joe Biden and Senator Harris got in there, I think they would have their stimulus package too. So I'm not
but the
tripping.
Stimulus package is better based off of stuff you said. Education, I think healthcare, something if I remember correctly, like if a family doesn't make, more than like $400 a year, like your kid is free or something like that, free healthcare, like stuff like that matters more.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm with you. I'm rolling.
No, I agree with that wholeheartedly. But again, our people want that instant gratification. If I can get me a quick $1,200, I'm not really worried about this student loan. That they get it when they get it. You know what I'm saying? That's something that's just how our people think. They think what I can do with this $1,200 now. Oh, I can get this bag. I can get this Gucci bag, or I can get this Gucci belt, or I can get whatever. Right? We want that instant gratification. So $1,200 sounds great off top, but healthcare. Oh, I don't go to the doctor anyway. So why would I care about healthcare and this, that, and the third? And that's unfortunate, man. But I like what you said, Chris, about, really reading up on what somebody else has to offer, not just what the first thing that was the hot topic. Of course, stimulus checks have been a hot topic since COVID hit, right? So, of course, that's something that people are focusing on. But obviously, another presidential candidate is going to have other areas that he's going to be focused on, too, that might make more sense. So, again, it goes back to what you were talking about last week, going to that vote411.org to get you some more information about the candidates so you can figure out what truly makes sense. If $1,200 makes more sense to you than $10,000 off your student loan, go ahead, vote for Trump. It makes sense for you. But if you're wise and you're really reading about the healthcare and looking long term, okay, why not see what Biden's talking about?
Let me ask y'all this. What did y'all think about the tax break that they were discussing last night, as far as like the tax break that Trump gave like the huge Fortune 100 companies, and how Pence was saying like if they get in, they're going to change that tax break, which is going to drive the economy down, because obviously Trump and the Republicans think the large Fortune 100 companies, whether they're 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, they're the reason why the economy is booming, and not really. It doesn't really matter about the small businesses or the your everyday worker. What do y'all think about that when they were discussing that?
I'll say this, man. That's a little. And if I'm being honest with you, I'm a guy. I'm starting my own thing, but as of right now, I'm a guy who works for the school system. So that was over my head. I'm gonna be honest with you. But if it affects black businesses, which it sounds like it does, then that's whack. That's what I got on that.
Got you.
I, you know, on one end, yes, if these Fortune 100 companies are financially stable, they can create more jobs, which can obviously help the economy. But at the end of the day, these are the companies that support that party, that support him. And at the end of the day, who ends up paying more in taxes is us, you know. And meanwhile, guess what? Donald Trump is getting all these tax deferments to where he's paying $750, which is more than we pay, and we make a lot less than Donald Trump. So, you know, it doesn't make sense. I mean, that mentality is what keeps the rich richer and keeps the middle class kind of separate. So you have basically the poor and you have the wealthy. So the only time the economy is truly booming is when that middle class is thriving, because that middle class is who's spending the most money. People think rich people spend a lot of money. Rich people don't spend a lot of money. Rich people have already bought their homes and their cars, so they're good. But middle class people, when they get a promotion, they're going to go buy a new car. They get a promotion. They're going to maybe buy a bigger home. They're going to spend more at the grocery stores. So they're going to keep the economy booming. So I don't agree with it. I get the logic, but at the end of the day, the middle class is what keeps our economy thriving.
And then I'm going to say this too, man. You talk about the top Fortune 500 companies or whatever. They're getting to hold on to more money because of these tax breaks. And we think that they're creating more jobs. But no, Steve Bezos is sending packages to your homes with droids. You know, that takes away from hiring somebody to do that, man. So it's all foolishness to me, man.
Gotta say Steve Bezos, Jeff Bezos.
I mean, Steve Jobs, Jeff Bezos, they the same. They the same white man to me.
Don't worry, bro. You know I got to check your facts.
Hey man. They not that boy Jay, man. The Rock is in the building.
Oh my God, this guy's throwing up rock stars. He's officially converted. Oh my God. I agree. And the reason why I agree, and even being in business, first of all, I don't got no millions and millions of dollars tax cuts like a Jeff Bezos or Amazon does. I think it's ridiculous that a company can be worth trillions of dollars and don't pay no tax. Like that is the true definition of what Jarvis said, like the rich getting richer. And basically, if you're middle class, you're poor, you're getting poor. And the small businesses do take an effect. Like it does take a huge hit. And here's the reason why. Because small businesses still have to put up a lot of capital to make their business run. And on top of putting up a lot of capital to make your business run, you still have to pay taxes. You have to pay sales taxes. You have to pay federal taxes, period. So you have to pay way much more taxes than these trillion-dollar companies. Yeah, I may not have hundreds of thousands of employees like Amazon does, right? Absolutely, that's fair. But at the same time, the amount of money that they take in versus what they pay out to these employees is like breadcrumbs. So they should be paying more in taxes, because them paying more in taxes helps stimulate the economy, especially for the small business.
Yeah.
Okay.
100% agree. 100% agree. Another interesting fact I thought was brought up last night that a lot of people overlook is the age of these candidates, man. Biden is 77. So if he wins and he makes it through his 4 years, he'll be 81 years old.
It's crazy.
Trump, if reelected, will be 74 years old in office. Now, this man allegedly got COVID. It's crazy that all these 70 million, like all these millions of people we got in the United States, and then the fact that the median age of America is, I would say, 38 to 40 years old. Why would we not have candidates more in line with that age group. And it just boggles my mind because, I mean, a lot of people don't make it to 80. You know, that's just reality. I mean, the older you get, just things stop. And these people are going to be in charge. Like, does that not in some way, shape, or form make you feel like, ooh? But when you think about that, let's say, you know, something unfortunate happens to Biden and he's in office. How comfortable are you after last night seeing Kamala Harris possibly take over as president of the United States?
I think she got it. I think she got it. Now, let me tell you this. And how old is she? She looked like she may be...
She's like 50-something.
Okay,
yeah,
so
I think she's in the young 50s. Yeah.
Are we comfortable with early 50s? We cool there?
No, yeah. That's a good age.
Okay.
That's a great age.
Let me tell you why I blame you two brothers for why we got these old presidents, man. And I'm gonna tell you exactly why. One day in a group chat, I texted you guys, or we may have been on Zoom or whatever. I told you guys that if I just shut down my Instagram, all that, and studied politics, I could run for president in a year or two, man. And you guys shot me down, destroyed my dreams, and now that's why y'all got to deal with Trump and Biden. When you had a brother that's around your age that was willing to put in the work and make it happen, man. Bruh. So I blame you two brothers, man. Yeah, y'all got to hold that. You got to wear that jacket, Mike. You too, Jarvis. Y'all got to wear that jacket, bro.
What? This guy on his Kanye shit.
Yeah.
Take that hat off.
I mean, hey, speaking of, not to go into a Kanye thing, but I mean, Kanye's around. Well, I mean, he's a little older than us, but he's not 50. I mean, Jarvis, you just asked about age. You know, we got these 70-year-old guys. I mean, would we be comfortable with the Kanye?
That doesn't mean throwing the first 42-year-old you see.
Okay. I'm rolling. But
bro, I'm not even for to respond to your nonsense.
No, man. That first part about me was hard. Pause. But I do think that we should have somebody a little younger. God. I don't think like we ain't looking for no 29-year-old, 30-year-old. But maybe,
I think 35 to 60 is a great range.
Here's also the thing, guys, that we also got to be aware of. If you're in your all right, how old was Barack when he became president? Like 40 something?
He's like 44, 46, something like that.
Okay. That's a good age to become president for a young president.
I can roll.
If you're still like 30, 35, 38, you're really not that experienced yet. You're still very young.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay, you going somewhere.
So I think that age group like Barack came in like that mid-40s, 45. Because now you can do 4 years and then leave, or do 8 years and leave out in your 50s, right? Mm-hmm. I think that's a great age group. Do I agree 77 something is crazy, right? As much as I wanted Bernie Sanders to win.
He's the same age as Biden.
Yeah, I was always scared that Bernie was not going to make it. When Bernie started having all those heart attacks campaigning and stuff, I was like, oh, Lord, Bernie going to die before he even get in, you know? So I do think that is now, there's one guy I'm looking at, Senator Cory Booker from Jersey. You know, he actually ran this year. Of course, you know, and this is where inexperience came in that. You know, he was going through those debates. He was getting his ass ate up. But Senator Cory Booker, I think, is going to become the next black president. And I'm paying attention to this guy. Y'all look him up. If y'all don't remember who he is, he actually used to date Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, I know him.
Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a senator from Jersey, right? And I don't know if y'all remember watching, he used to be mayor of Jersey. I don't know if y'all remember watching that Who Killed Malcolm X on Netflix. He was actually featured on that. But he's a guy that I'm paying attention to as possibly the next black president. So I'm looking forward to see what he do, because he's still young himself. I think he's like late 30s, like that 38, 39 age. I'm looking to see what he do in the next couple of years, because I think he's going to be a great candidate.
Okay, so check this out, man. Jarvis, I'm thinking more about your question. I'm hearing what Mike said. I don't think it should be just, let's not just focus on age, though. What's your experience? I would like, man, are you married? I would prefer you to be married. I would prefer you to have had some kids. I would prefer you to have maybe, had a leadership position over people, so you know how to deal with people. I would prefer you to have like travel experience outside of the US, so that you know how other people move and shape, because you're going to have to deal with these people, man. You're going to have to keep things cool with people. So there are, I would like to, how are you as a philanthropist? Have you given? Because now you're in a position to really, you're supposed to be serving in these positions. We're not looking for no dictators, man. We're looking for people who are serving. Come down and bless the people, man. So I'm with you on the age, man, but there are a lot of other factors that we gotta put into this too, huge. Man.
Yeah, experience.
How are you with money? Do you budget? Do you steal? What's your character? Have you been to jail? Have you been to prison? And if you have, what was it for? How were you changed? I'm not tripping on you going to jail, going to prison, but did you get out and did you change? It's many different factors that we need to check out, man. And let me say this. I heard Chris Rock say on Saturday night, the whole way we do the president thing needs to change, man. If you're in there, you shouldn't have a guaranteed 4 years. If you in there, you jacking things up, hey man, we may need to come back to the table in 9 months and revisit this thing, man.
Hey, let me. I'm glad you said. I'm gonna pick it up from here. Why do you guys think? Or I know they're gonna do the next debate, digital, right? Because they're not gonna be in person, obviously.
Trump backed out already. Trump backed out though.
Yeah, I saw that
digital debate.
Yeah.
Oh wow, he's running. So anyway, let me say this: why do you think they haven't brought up the question yet about the impeachment? Pence touched on it. He brought it up himself, right? But why do you think no moderator hasn't asked that question yet about the impeachment? Or do you think they were going to save it for the next debate? Have y'all noticed that?
I didn't.
I feel like I feel like it hasn't been mentioned in a minute. Like I feel like it was a hot topic. Was it about a year and a half ago? And
it hasn't been mentioned at all through either one of these debates, though.
But it hasn't been mentioned at all. Period. In probably a year.
Like, yeah, but I would think that one of these moderators, that would have been a primary question about the impeachment case, right? But nobody's brought that up. Nobody's asked that question, and I wonder why. I don't know if they were saving it for the last debate, but I don't know. That's interesting, though.
But I look at it like this, man. You got to think about it, man. You're not only doing one debate. I mean, you trying to you got 2, 3, maybe 1 or 2 more of these debates. You got to save the good stuff for the later debates.
How many debates do I thought the presidents? How many debates do the president's candidates have? 2 or 3?
It's supposed to be 3.
Okay.
So because I was wondering during the first one, I'm like, man, is Trump gonna talk about these allegations with the way Joe Biden deals with children, his connection to Epstein? These are so I feel like a lot of what you're saying, Mike, that'll probably be later. If these debates continue to happen.
Got you. Okay. Yeah. Hey man, this is off subject. Oh well, now I asked this question later. Go ahead, Jarvis.
No, you good. You good.
Well, no, because I wanted to kind of go back to the Breonna Taylor situation with a different case, because we touched on Derek Chauvin getting out. What do y'all think about that Jonathan Price situation? Have y'all heard about Jonathan Price?
Is that
the guy
brother
who he broke up
Texas?
the fight, or he tried to save the black woman?
Yeah, right here locally, close to Dallas, actually.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about that? Because the reason why I asked that is that did y'all read his previous Instagram or Facebook post that he wrote?
He was defending police officers.
Defending the police officer, saying how he really never experienced no racism. Saying he was also saying he don't mess with his own black people, his own black family, and that's why he's addicted to white women.
Hey,
I think.
Hey,
I think.
So I want to know y'all. I want to know y'all hot take on this, man.
I think that's I think every coon in America needs to know what happened and see that post and understand that just because you placate and play up to white people does not mean when cops roll up on you, they don't see you as a black man. You can date white women. You can vote for Trump. You can turn your back on black people all you want. But at the end of the day, if Daniel Cameron shows up in Orangeburg, South Carolina or somewhere with a T-shirt and shorts on, and they think he's a threat, they don't care who he is. You get in the wrong encounter, you can get it from a racist police officer. So, it don't matter. You can do all that you want, and you can say, "Oh, racism doesn't exist," or Black Lives Matter ain't this and that. But at the end of the day, man, if your skin is brown, you're subject to the same treatment that George Floyd or anybody else got, because Breonna Taylor was in the comfort of her own home. Like, she wasn't bothering nobody. She wasn't doing anything illegal, and she still got murdered. So, you can say whatever you want, man. You can turn your back, but at the end of the day, man, they showed you who you are.
Yeah, I posted that on my Facebook because, the irony is that this guy broke up a fight protecting another black woman because, black women are saying we're not protected. A cop came, automatically thought he was the aggressor. She was the one fighting. Tased the dude. The dude fell on the ground, started convulsing from getting tased, shot him 3 times, killed him, right? So now the reason why I asked that, because obviously, what's my guy that always gets involved, Lee Merritt, Sean King, they're trying to do the same rally for these guys like we did for Breonna and George. But now a lot of black people and black women are saying, "Nah, I'm good on him." Like, if you read the comments, a little different. Yeah, if you read the comments, now this doesn't still negate that an innocent black man was still killed by a white cop.
Right.
But if you read the comments, and that's why I asked y'all this, because this is going to be a tricky one for a lot of people. A lot of black women, and especially black women, when they read that shit about him being addicted to white women and stuff.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Woo, them black women was firing his ass up. They was saying shit like, "Nah, I'm good on him. We can pass on this one."
Yeah, we might sit this one out, Mike, and I'm not trying to be insensitive.
but at the end of the day, C-Rob, still an innocent man, black man, was still killed unarmed by a white cop, bro.
Innocent black man who had a thirst for white women. So I tell you what, man, we'll let the white women handle this one. They could show up and they can protect him like he's been protecting them. And we'll be cool, man. Hey, man. Hey, like my guy Jay said, man, still nigga. It's the Rock in the building,
man. Yeah, man. It's tough, bro. Like, it's tough.
Chris in his J bag today.
He in his J bag all the way. The Rock Nation changed the spirit. Welcome to the club. Yeah, that was a tough one, man. When I read that, and and I posted it on my Facebook, and I said the same thing Jarvis said. I say, man, look, you as a black man should never defend the constitutional systematic racism and your oppressor and your oppressor that oppress you every single day. And I was like, you should never go. I said this, and at the same time, because I understand, taking my emotions out of it, this is still an innocent black man that was still killed for no reason, for doing the right thing at the same time. So, it's a little airy for me, man, because I'm almost on the side of Chris, like that whole being addicted to white women and no racism and all that. Cool. I was just like, fam, you can like white women, that's fine. But how you addicted to them and you don't believe in racism and you denouncing your own black people? Like, I was fam, this is irony. Irony and karma comes back to bite you in the ass. Or
I will say this. Earlier, Chris, you said we made the points about how white people, no matter if they're at odds or not, they're going to align if it makes sense to go against us. Okay. Why are we not keeping that same energy, Chris?
Because white people, they not gonna denounce themselves, on your behalf. This guy denounced people who denounced women who look like his mother. Nah, go the people the people you were protecting. Let them protect you.
Yeah.
We gotta start. Nah. See, I'm sick of this. We gotta start getting cats out the paint. I spoke on it last week, man. Just like when Harriet Tubman was like, hey, so check this out, man. Who's not trying to be free? Who's trying to stay here and be cool? The people who want to stay there and be cool, we had to get them out the paint because they would be in hindrance to our freedom. So hey man, if you gonna push your people to the side to lift up others, but them others get you out the paint, let them others support you.
But Harriet really ain't free black people. She just took them to go work for white people, huh?
That boy on some other stuff, man. That boy on some other stuff, man.
Bro, you left the door open for that one. Nah, on the road. But I agree though. I definitely agree, man. I just thought that was a lot of irony in that dude's situation. And like I said, man, we live in a climate now where these black women are starting to put their foot on black men's neck. Like, these black women ain't joking around about protecting them, fam. Like, this is a surreal. I thought this was going to pass over. Like, this is just another hashtag. But nah, man, these black women are dead ass serious. And if you not fucking with them as a black man, and especially if they fuck with you, they writing your ass off like a tax write-off.
And you know what, Jarvis and Mike, check this out, man. This, not to be insensitive to, because it's still a black man who lost his life, but he made.
That's where I'm at with it, fam.
But he chose his side. Mike. You gotta let him ride with his side, man. Boys gotta ride with their side, man. Check this out. Let this be a message to the coons. Okay. Hey, man. You could denounce us.
Sacrificial lamb, huh?
You could denounce us, but once you denounce us, they can have you, and they can do what they want with you.
I mean,
there you go.
Like, honestly, man, I see it from both sides, man. I see it from both sides.
Ain't no both sides. Nah, fam, you addicted to white women. You love white women. White man took you out. Let white women protect you. That's logic.
Because he was also saying how, he was raised by white people who basically fed him, took care of him, and all that since he was a kid. So it's just like, he has this thing where he grew up being raised and loved by white people. So, I don't know, man.
They gonna love you now. Let them love you.
Yeah, I said that. I said, well, I put it on my post. I say, well, since so many white people loved him, hopefully they ride off of him and bring him justice.
Yeah, because we cool.
Yeah, because that cop did get arrested pretty fast.
He did.
Hell yeah.
I think he got charged. Yeah, he got arrested and charged already. So
yeah,
I guess white people take care of their business.
Yeah. Hey, white people take care of their own.
Nah, no doubt. Yeah, I just wanted to get you boys' take on that, man.
Yeah. Hey, man, Chris, you got anything else?
Hey, man, Bread Tuck Legacy, man. BreadTuckLegacy.com, man. Check me out, man. I got content.
Mike, where you at?
Man, I'm going to say this election is what? Less than 30 days away?
Yeah.
Right? I would say, to everybody listening, man, if you're legal and you can register to vote, please vote. Let's make this thing happen. I'm back on the same thing. Let's hold whoever we put in there accountable, and that's it, man. Appreciate you guys, man. Always love being on here talking to y'all. It's funny talking to y'all on here because it's like we talk shit all day in our group chats, but I think this platform is very good and key to the culture to what y'all are doing, man, especially for our peers.
Yeah, man, we trying to get that Rock Nation sponsorship, man. So
yeah,
don't
worry. I'm gonna hit Jay and let him know who you really are. It's all good.
Yeah, let them know we exclusively want to be on title. Let them know
exclusive.
that too.
Exclusive.
Yeah. You don't even got title.
Yeah, I had it.
I had it.
Yeah.
Well, you got to download it again. You got the Paper Planes app.
Hey, man. Hey, man.
And it's fresh too. You got the
you still got the tag on it.
Yeah, man. Damn. I'm trying to get the Rockefeller chain like Fabulous in there.
Well, all right. Well, we'll catch y'all next week.
Yeah.